wind out of him, Johnny. No wrestle for David. The gauntlet awaits.
It's a long home stretch to that finish platform, John, and he's going to have to time his attempts just right.
And he did just that with the crankshaft. Blades of Fury next, and very quickly across and onto the final element now, the beater totter.
After a rough start, our aspiring accountant is really picking up the pace now.
David sliding forward. The beater totter rises up. Oh, and David slides down and away.
Yeah, he was right at the end, but he slides all the way back now. He has to go all the way back and start the gauntlet all over again.
Yeah, that swim back sapping much of his strength, but his focus is still good. No problem with the crankshaft. Eases through the blades of Fury, and again, setting the time to beat will hinge on the beater totter.
He also has to contend with that slippery foam.
Oh, but this time the foam not a problem. He is a credit to his would-be perfection, finishing in a time of 13:26.
I finished!
Let's see how that time holds up against our next contestant, Vincent Rapalea. Delivery man Vincent Rapalea express-mailed himself through our qualifier, then made the double cross a priority when he became the first person to advance. Sleepy time, he had another first-class performance, shipping himself off to the Wipeout zone.
Our dreadmill powering up for the launch sequence as aspiring accountant David Harris watches from 40 feet below on the sidelines.
The launch sequence begins, and there he goes.
Not the most aggressive start off the launch platform. A nice spread eagle form, but he definitely didn't max out the distance and splashes down very near where David had entered.
Our delivery man Vincent now going head-to-head with our gut buster. David took 2 tries to conquer this obstacle, so our delivery man can afford to handle with care here.
Oh, mistimed that jump. He manages to hold on between the 2 blocks. He's just thrashing him now. I don't know if he can hang on much longer.
Oh, I have got to see that again, Johnny.
Look at him trying to hold himself up with his legs, but to no avail.
So after a long, cold, foamy swim, he's going to have to try these obstacles for a second time.
Vincent really feeling the full force of those hydraulically powered blocks.
Now it's just a short jump to the platform, and there it is. The accountant crunching the numbers and realizing there is nearly a 2-minute disparity between these two.
Vincent doesn't appear to be in a hurry to challenge those Cinestairs, Johnny. Throwing himself onto the first stair. Oh, let's take a look at the replay.
Taking after his predecessor, wiping out in the same place.
So after an ill-timed and ill-begotten first go, Vincent will have to make up some time here on his second pass of the very slippery, foamy Cinestairs.
Now Vincent is sending himself express mail to the top of these Cinestairs, and he is coming around on what might be his final revolution.
Waiting there. And he is safely on. And Vincent now making his way down the ramp, getting ready to start the gauntlet.
Oh, man is right, John. Vincent closing in on David at this point. Whoa!
Let's see that pummeling again.
Throwing caution to the wind, he tries to make a run for it, but that gamble did not pay off.
Time starting to become a concern now. Again, the dead sprint. Whoa! Vincent's reckless abandon stopped cold by the blades of fury.
Looks like his mad dash through the crankshaft paid off, but he couldn't put the brakes on.
Those swims back are time crushers, Johnny. The foam, it looks nice, but it is a nuisance to watch.
Vincent with one last chance to deliver here.
Oh, again the blades get him. And with just seconds left, John, he won't get back to the start of the gauntlet, let alone to the end of it.
He was so close, but nonetheless, his wipeout day is done.
So aspiring accountant David Harris maintains the time to beat, but stick around because when we come back, unimpressionist Scott Torgan and tennis pro Paige Roddy take on the zone and the time of 13:26. Welcome back to Wipeout and the big finish here in the Wipeout zone. 2 down, 2 to go. Basic accountant, Johnny. And aspiring accountant David Harris holds the time to beat.
Still to come, tennis pro Paige Roddy, but first up, unimpressionist Scott Torgan.
You can't handle the truth!
All day long, Scott Torgan has been doing an impression of a man doing well on Wipeout. During sleepy time, he perfected his impersonation of a great competitor, grabbing a $1,000 bonus on his way to a spot in the Wipeout zone. Scott, the unimpressionist Torgan, waiting on top of our dreadmill launch.
As our aspiring accountant waits on the sidelines with Jill.
The countdown beginning. There's the horn, and Scott is off. Off the launch, off the trampoline, and into the water.
Yeah, he really picked up some speed off the launch platform. And check out this strategy, John, angling his body towards the next obstacle.
Hopefully he will move quickly, but with care and precision as he gets on these foamy gut busters.
A difficult obstacle as is, but with the foam, our contestants are really struggling.
Ooh, a slight misstep there, almost sending Scott into the water, but he manages to stay on. And look at him, sliding all the way down, using the foam to his advantage. Well played.
And he makes it across without a wipeout.
He can just take his time.
Scott, the unimpressionist, now onto the Sinister.
That's right, a time of 1:45 and across the gut busters without incident already. Let's see if our unimpressionist can continue this torrid pace. Oh, water time.
He got a little too aggressive, and that slippery foam worked against him this time.
So Scott's going to have to take another go at this one. Onto that first stair, and here he goes again.
He is not going to be denied this time. He has made it to the top already.
Still has to make that leap off, and at 2 stories up, that's dicey. He's made it across.
Quite the impressive performance thus far, John. It looks like our unimpressionist is making an impression on a very worried aspiring accountant.
He has good reason to worry as Scott is rolling and in perfect rhythm with the crankshaft. Beautiful. These blades of fury, they ruined the last guy, Vincent, ended his wipeout zone.
Our unimpressionist coming up on the beater totter at this point. Hey, ooh, okay. Scott with a bizarre seated leap. Interesting technique.
Oh, the horseback style got him thrown. That's bad twice. Has to go back to the beginning of the gauntlet, and it's a long foam-filled swim to get there. Back standing and ready to give the crankshaft one more try. He has that crackerjack timing on this baby, and he is back at the blades of fury. Timing those perfectly once more, too. Now he's got about a 3-minute cushion, but that can disappear with one fall on the beater totter. No, really wrestling to keep his balance now, sloshing about forward and backwards. The finish line, tantalizingly close.
A leap to the finish.
I think I'm done.
Scott Torgan's our new Wipeout leader. His time, 10:25. And that brings us to our final contestant of the night, Paige Roddy.
Tennis pro Paige Roddy was our last contestant in the qualifier, and she aced it. She barely made it through the double cross, but surprised everyone at sleepy time, serving up a performance worthy of a spot in the Wipeout zone.
So our youngest contestant of the day and the only girl in the Wipeout zone hopes her athleticism will put her over the top and under Scott Torgan's time. Paige waiting for the okay to launch. Here she goes. Oh, head first and face first. That's a splashy entrance, but not in a good way.
She flew out of that treadmill, but it looks like she couldn't maintain control, making for a pretty chaotic head-first entrance into the zone.
Needs to leave that all behind, though, and go for it here on the gut buster. It's like more of a timid approach, sort of waiting for each block to come to her. Maybe a good idea, considering how fast she shot out of the treadmill launch. It's bounced around a bit. Standing now. Whoa! No!
Take another look. A brutal tag teaming between the two Pistons as the Gutbusters really living up to their name.
So it's back to the beginning of the gut buster. Paige knows that a 10-minute time to beat is actually quite a tight window in this tough, foamy, dark wipeout zone. And she just fires past the gut buster block that felled her the last time, and even more quickly off in and onto the platform.
Paige is our youngest contestant of the day and a professional athlete. That's a lot of competitive edge, Johnny.
Dives onto that first step and has a two-fisted grip on it, staying low to avoid those sweeper arms, but she knows she can't stay there forever, Johnny, as she slowly climbs up the second step. Our tennis pro working slow and steady, which is not something the Sinistairs are, slow or steady. This is a race, Johnny.
Unbelievable, she made it.
Luck, luck, luck. That's what it was.
Scott, I think, trying to convince himself, Johnny. I mean, luck will run out, talent won't, and Paige is closing the gap. Oh, and that will widen it. The crankshaft strikes.
And now the clock is really becoming a factor. As you can see, Paige timing the crankshaft all wrong. Coming up now on her second attempt at the gauntlet. She's got less than a minute remaining on the clock.
This time, Paige timing out the crankshaft perfectly, She's eyeing those blades of fury that stand between her and $50,000. Into the middle with just a slight stumble. She's across safely.
All right, moment of truth as Scott waits for the outcome. 20 seconds left. She might just pull this off.
She will get one chance on the beater totter, sliding forward a few feet, a few seconds from victory. She needs to leap or that money is gone. She's turned around and leaps off the wrong way. Oh, it is over for tennis pro Paige Roddy in the wipeout zone.
Hey, Scott, guess what? You just
No.
won
No way.
$50,000!
No way.
Woo!
I can't